So, hey, we're going to present to you our solution to a triple bottom line problem regarding the regeneration of the Mojlnerparken Estate. In 2018, the Danish Supreme Court passed a law coined the ghetto package that's focused on breaking up immigrant-dominated neighbourhoods or low-income neighbourhoods. This affects the community at hand in Mojlnerparken because 83% of the residents are first or second generation immigrants. This is also another problem in the community because 2 out of 5 of the current residents are unemployed nor in higher education. And finally, in Copenhagen at large, there is also a shortage of 8,400 student houses.
So our solution is basically to build 5 carbon neutral apartment blocks. So after being in the temporary accommodation, just 2 of these will be for the low-income families. So that will be home to 1,000 low-income families, which is more than enough for the 1,225 current residents of the estate. The other 3 during the Olympics will be part of the Olympic Village, which will house approximately 3,000 Olympic athletes. After the Olympics, it will then be home to 3,000 students. Now, our partner, university, will get £44.5 million in revenue from these 3 buildings, which will give them quite a competitive advantage against other higher education institutions, because they'll be able to provide a more secure housing solution. So the estate will be built to be carbon neutral, which will be delivered through green balconies, solar panel, and also other sustainable resources. There will be local community spaces, which can be for volunteering and education development spaces as well. The whole ground floor of our building is going to be dedicated to cafes and gyms and small businesses. So profit from those businesses can then be reinvested into the estate and helping it be more economically sustainable. Our marketing campaign has 3 pillars. The first is understanding. It's essential to understand what these people actually want from these spaces. So we've looked at some previous research. So 64% of people in a similar Copenhagen community really valued green space in close to their homes. So it's important that we talk to these people through a really comprehensive survey. In terms of education, we need to educate these people on the small habits they can instill, but also the longer term benefits of this project. And finally, communication. This can't stop once we build and then just walk away and leave it. There has to be updated information. And also all these forums can be used as a digital tool for social listening, so that we can continue making it more sustainable and keep solving the problems that these people are facing in real life.
We suggest that it should require about £243 to £348 million of partner investment. We've identified potential partners, which include City of Copenhagen Council, the IOC, and University College Copenhagen, as well as private sector companies such as Danfoss and Clean Charge, who have both worked in similar projects already. There are multiple reasons why these companies would want to get involved in this sort of project, and the first of which is it hits their CSR targets through positive social impact. Association with the Olympics will elevate their brand's position and reputation. It could lead to future project credibility and help gain a competitive advantage. The green tech sector has an annual growth recorded at 8%, even through financial crisis years, so business growth and profitability cannot be discounted. And then job opportunities within the local community would help with the estate's sustainability, which leads to my next point. These job opportunities could include working at the Olympic Games or in the ground floor businesses. And using the Keynesian multiplier, it indicates that greater employability increases spending. And then the spending will be increased in the ground floor businesses, and that will help drive profit, ensure that maintenance funds will happen as a result. And then these maintenance funds will be reinvested into the sporting and local sporting and national economy to help solve the previous highlighted problems, completing the cycle for circular economy.
Onto the financial side of the project, the first 1,000 units will be for low-income families, which will generate about £9 million annually in rent. The latter 3 buildings will be for 3,000 students, 2-bedroom units each, which will generate about £44 million in rent a year. Overall, the estate will generate about £29 million in profit each year, and investors will break even in about 8 to 12 years, give or take, on the project.
How do we count on measuring these impacts? Firstly, we shall compare this against the London 2012 Olympic Village. The residents of the village before and after the Olympic Games took a decade to feel the positive impacts that were promised to them. This is how we aim to deliver those benefits quicker. There shall be a provision of around 1,000 affordable houses once the estate is built. It shall be the first carbon neutral village, which is in line with the Olympic values. There shall be an increase in the education rate of about 30% over the next 5 years. And finally, there will also be 2 million to be reinvested into Sports Denmark yearly, which keeps them interested into helping grow that community.